Okay, it's 7. So there, I'll call the October 15th, 2019 meeting of the White Bear Lake Conservation District Board to order. We have a quorum, and so that takes care of items 1 and 2 on the agenda. The third item is approval of agenda. Any additions or changes to the agenda?
I move approval.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. That passes. So approval, next item on the agenda is approval of last month's meeting minutes, which hopefully everybody has or received in their packet.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes. Public comments. This is a time that we reserve for people that would like to speak on a topic that's not on the agenda. Anybody interested in doing that? Brian? Just come up, state your name, give your address, and tell us what you
Brian
think about it.
McGoldrick, 36 Moonlight Bay, Stillwater, Minnesota. I just want to thank Kim. I wasn't aware of the rule change with having to get your application in by the 15th, and it was going to run me about $6,000 a week. So I just want to thank you, Kim, for pointing that out to me.
Okay. Anybody else? Yep, just come up.
Hi, my name's Angela Enroth, 4381 Cottage Park Road. I'm from the Cottage Park Board. I heard that maybe we were on the agenda tonight, so I just want to make sure that was the case, or I'm bringing it up right now if that's not the case.
No, we've been trying to get a hold of somebody there, though.
Oh, well, here we are.
So you're not on the agenda, but
Okay.
since you're here, maybe we, because I don't see them on the agenda, right? No. So maybe we can have this discussion. What are you interested in talking about?
Well, let's see. The former president, Scott Bishop, got a phone call from you, and I think a voicemail as well, about the Block A easement that we have at Cottage Park, and that there was some concern that we have more than one dock there. So I don't know too much more about that. So if a few of us from the board are here. Again, I'm Angela Enroth. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi folks, Mike Schroeder, also White Bear resident.
Thank you. Hello.
And so we just wanted to attend to make sure that we got the relevant information. And I did send you sort of a response letter just from the board on sort of the voicemail that we got information on.
Okay.
Along with our agreement with the city.
Okay.
So that's sort of why we were here. And so we just wanted to get a take on what the concerns were. And we do have an agreement with the city to use the easement. It's from 1984, affirming our rights from the 1800s to use that land. So I have the agreement with me as well, and I mailed you a copy too. So just wanted to
So
see.
here's, let me start off by saying we're not a group that goes out and necessarily, we don't have the staffing or the abilities or the budget to go out and look at every lot on the lake. And we've got some phone calls and letters from one of your neighbors, and it was brought to my attention that you were violating ordinances for the Conservation District. And we also say that the city, theirs is terrestrial, and we're the water.
Okay.
So they can't tell you what you can or can't put in the lake, and we can't tell you what you can or can't do on the land. But if you look in and it's on our website in Ordinance 5, it talks about multi-user docks, which yours falls into. And I'll also tell you that I'm part of a association with 75 feet. And the ordinances state that for every lot on the lake, you're only allowed one dock, and anything over 4 boats, you have to get a license for.
Okay.
So the over 4 boats, and there's also an application, which looks like this, and we're going to go through some of these in a few minutes, that you have to fill out every year,
Mm-hmm.
and you pay a certain amount for everything over 4 boats. And that's that. There's only one spot on the lake where we allow a property to have more than one dock that's not a commercial marina. And that one, they allow the DNR to keep a boat there. And that's why we issued them that grant
Okay.
for 2 docks. So to come into compliance, you'd have to fill out the application. And I would move that I would say that we would waive the late fee at this point because, so it'll give you some time to work it out. But you're probably going to get 1 dock, and I can't imagine why we would turn down the 6 boats.
Okay. All right. Does anyone else?
We got Fletcher Driscoll too.
Oh, they'd have to. So it sounds like paperwork needs to be done, and Kim can help you get the correct form if you're looking for that. And there's a fee associated with it that Kim can explain to you as well. We take these applications and and correct me, Mark, if I misspeak, for multi-user docks, we ask that the applications be in by basically now. And but as Mark mentioned, at some point when your application does come in, he's willing to make the motion to waive that late fee.
Okay.
The late fee associated with that. And do you have any questions associated with that for us?
Oh, let's see. No, I'm just going to have to take this back to our board, so we might need to come and discuss with you further. Is that acceptable?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, and actually, if you want to, and sorry to do this to you, Mark, if you want to communicate, Kim and Mark, they can probably answer, 90+% of your questions.
Okay.
So if you want to do that, but yes, certainly you're welcome to come back and take time out of your life to come visit us at the board meeting. We get
Sounds
lonely.
good.
Yeah. But that's fine as well.
Okay.
So is that a clear path forward, that work with Kim to get the application and get that completed and get that in? Is that a clear path forward?
It's a clear path. I'm not sure if our residents are going to agree with that. That's the only part that I am concerned about at
And the
this point.
process is, once we get the application, we need to give the adjacent property owners, so for that, it'd be the city and the property owner to the other side. And they have to have 2 weeks' notice so they can come in, and if they want to, and they're part of the conversation as well. But we have a LUC meeting that meets an hour before every meeting, and that's when we go over the dock applications and yacht schedules and things like that.
Okay.
So the process is that once your application comes in, Kim checks it to make sure it's complete. Then it goes to the LUC, which Mark is the chair of, and they meet at 6 p.m. on the nights that we have board meetings to review the applications.
Okay.
And so the process would work. You'd submit to Kim. Kim would get it to Mark. Mark would get it on the agenda for the LUC meeting. You'd be welcome to attend the LUC meeting in case any questions came up. And then the LUC, the committee would make a recommendation to our board on that application.
And then the entire board will vote.
Yep.
Okay. That makes sense. I'll have to take this back to our board. I know basically our stance is that we're not in agreement with that. At least our understanding, talking with the past residents who went through the big lawsuit with the city, was that we were allowed to have docks on this piece of land.
Yeah, and again,
the
the city has
residents
no
aren't
jurisdiction on the lake.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd suggest, take it
Yeah.
back, and then come back if you have some concern about our ordinance or how we're interpreting things. Bring it forward. We can have Alan look at it, and that helps us out as well.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Anyone else have any comments?
No, I think you stated it well, Angela. Again, we're representing a group of, some 29 or more, I think, homeowners in the association. There have been multiple docks on this block of land for decades that have been in use, and restrictions on that may present a lot of challenges and concerns for the people that live there and have, bought property and could even see potential, impact on valuation. Who knows, right? So while we appreciate what you're saying, and are not contending with the rights of your group to have jurisdiction over the use of the water, want to make sure that our group is represented. Again, we have documents that state docks. These docks have been in use for a long time.
We're not going to fine you for not doing anything in the past.
Yeah, so again, I think it's, if you think that you have something that you'd like to bring forward for us to look at, please do that.
Okay.
I mean, 1800s was a while ago, and who knows? But I think that's the right path, huh? It's to get the application in and then bring their concerns forward, and we'll deal with those that way.
Yeah, you definitely want to address it with your board. Depending on what the rates are, they can be superior if you want to the people that own the land underneath there. So it just depends on what the language is and how it is granted to you.
Okay, and
You have the right to put the dock. In other words, it would be superior to someone else who says, well, I get one too. But without seeing the language, it's hard to say at this point. So you definitely want to have the board speak as one, though,
okay,
as opposed to a representative of the board.
sounds good. All right, I did send you the agreement with the city and the amendment
In a email?
email and through the regular post. So,
Okay.
Did you send that to Mark or to Kim, or?
send it to Mark.
Okay. Would you mind sending that to Kim?
Yeah.
And
Sure.
and she can give you the email address. It's also on our
Yeah, that'd be
website.
great. Okay.
And then she can distribute as appropriate.
Yeah, that'd be great. I can do that. Sounds good. All right, thanks.
Coming out. Okay, anybody else? Nope. All right, so we'll move on to new business. And so we have a new representative from Delwood, Rylan Duran. Nice. And thanks for volunteering to serve on the board and for your time. And maybe you can tell us just a little bit about yourself, whatever you'd like to tell us.
Sure, I'm Rylan Duran. I'm a transportation planner by day, and I have a wife and 3 kids. We live in Delwood, and I like good governance, so that's why I'm here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for being here. Okay, so now we're on to unfinished business, and it looks like Alan, a couple of items.
Yes, Board, we basically got through the buoy discussion, and you should have in your packet some language that we'll be reviewing tonight. So that can be, I guess, come up a little more organically. The Water Patrol meetings, I don't have much more in Washington County, so still waiting for some backup on how they basically have performed this year. And so sadly, it's been a month, but sadly in record-keeping terms, that's not very long. So that request is still in from Washington County. So as soon as those docs come in, I will distribute them through Kim at the board level. So
Okay.
I'd stand for any questions regarding buoys, however.
And can you explain again, was there supposed to be something in our packet about the buoys? And did I miss
Could have
that?
There isn't.
Oh, I didn't.
Did you say there isn't?
I don't have it.
Yeah, I don't think I have it either.
We'll just carry it over then until next month because Scott's not here. So
Yeah,
I thought
perfect.
that got forwarded and made it in there. So we'll just carry that over till November, if you wouldn't mind, Ms. Johnson. So anyway, there is some proposed language there, so we'll review it next month.
That sounds great. Any
Okay.
questions for Alan at the moment?
We will have some numbers from Washington County.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Alan. Now we're on to item 8, reports and action items. Executive Committee, the committee didn't meet this month, so there's no report. So we're on to the Lake Quality Committee. Mike?
Lake quality, the lake level today is 925.09. 925.09. Been the same all summer, within a hundredth of an inch. So, heck of a summer. Water temperature is 50 degrees. Last year at this time, it was 54 degrees, so this cold weather is taking its toll on the water temperature. So we might have early ice on again this year. We did last year. November 28th, we iced over, which is early on modern times. So that might happen again, who knows? We had a Phragmites treatment on October 4th, and it had been planned for almost 2 weeks prior to that, but the weather was just terrible, windy, rainy, cold. Was not an optimum time to be able to treat it. But on the 4th, it was calm. Wasn't real sunny, but that was okay, but it was calm, and they did a good treatment. They felt it was a very good treatment. Because the lake was up, most of the Phragmites that was treated was in 2 feet of water rather than right on lakeshore. And so that kept the areas that were treated from spreading. So they did a very good treatment, and they said that the percentage of Phragmites that we have compared to other lakes that have had to treat it is much less. So that's good. So they need about, from treatment date, they need about 3 to 4 weeks to go back and survey it to make sure how successful it was, and that from October 4th till now is not enough time. So we'll have that answer in November, and Steve McComas was headed for coming here tonight, but because of the bad weather that we've had in the past couple of weeks, he's had too much work and he hasn't gotten his report finished. He's had to push everything back. So he'll be here in November. So he's always entertaining, and think of questions to ask him. That's it.
Mike, the Phragmites, will the folks that treated it, will they come back and do the survey of
They will come back and
effectiveness?
do the assessment.
Okay. Any other questions for Mike? All right. Diane?
Can you remind me where the treatment was?
There were 12 or 13 spots around the lake, and I can give you the map. So that's, they were, wherever there was tall weeds. I have the map here if you want to look at it, or do you want me to just send you it?
I'll look at it sometime.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and anybody that wants a copy of it, here it is. You have it, right, Kim?
Yes.
Just email the Conservation District. She'll send you a copy.
Yeah, and I put it on the website so people can see where we treat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diane. Okay, no other questions for Mike? All right, thank you, Mike. Next is Lake Utilization Committee. Mark?
We have several docks on, in the boat club on. The first one in the packet is Alicia Heights. That is on Wildwood Road in Matamidi, right next to the Wildwood condos. No change from last year. And the LUC approved, and I so move.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. That passes.
Second one is Shadowgate condominiums over by Ramsey Beach. Again, renewal identical to last year, and also with the last one, no complaints from the neighbors or anything. The LUC moved to approve, and I so move.
Motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. So that passes.
The next one is the Russ Becker dock on the end of the peninsula. No change from last year, other than they added the swim rafts in. They are within the 200 feet ADUA. I move to approve with one stipulation. We've gotten a lot of complaints that they're very difficult to see, especially at night. So I would ask Mr. Becker to have more reflective materials put on all sides of those two. And other than that, we passed it in the LUC committee, and I move to approve.
So we have a motion and a second to approve, and just so I understand the motion is to approve contingent on the applicant adding the high-vis tape to the rafts.
Yes, and we had a representative here from Mr. Becker who said that that will not be a problem.
Understood. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mike?
Does he have to register those swim platforms with the sheriff, as you would a buoy?
In our ordinances, we just say that they have to remain within the ADUA.
All right.
Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. That passes.
The next one is the Snyder's Bay Beach Club. They do have a change from last year, but the only change is they're not asking for any more boats or anything. They just want to add two more, they appear to be 10-foot sections on the end of their dock to extend it. That'll extend it to 110 feet, which is well within the limits of their ADUA. The LUC moved to approve, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. That passes.
The next one is the Your Boat Club. They operate off of docks of White Bear over by Admiral D's. They have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 14 boats that they pay the marina owner to operate out of. They've been out there for a couple years. This is just their application to have a commercial business on the lake. And the LUC approved it, and I so move.
So a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That passes.
That's it for the LUC this week.
Any other questions for Mark? Thank you, Mark. So on to Lake Education Committee, which would be Scott. Scott's not here, so we'll have no report. And on to Treasurer's Report. Diane.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Treasurer's Report for October 2019. We'd like to make a motion to accept checks 4600 through 4607.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the checks. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That passes.
Thank you.
Any questions for Diane? All right, Mike?
On the Water Patrol, we're under budget.
Okay, good job, Diane.
Thank you.
Anything else for
It's a lot of work.
Okay, thank you, Diane. So we're on to Board Council Report. Alan?
Chair and Board, aside from what I mentioned earlier, no activity in the court system this month, and so I would stand for questions.
Any questions for Alan?
And of course, welcome to my neighbor, Mr. Hurlin. If I remember correctly, you ran for mayor?
That's right.
All right.
Yep.
Not new to the spotlight, guys.
Nice. I stand the pressure.
Ellen and I live in the same development in Delwood, so.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Alan. Kim, any announcements?
No, just good news is we have received all commercial bays applications on time. Not all of them will be turned in by the 15th, and then many of the others have quite a stack. So otherwise,
Thanks for following up with those folks, because that's important.
thank you. I also did. You had requested some information in regards to a possibility of how we would communicate with Lake residents or something.
Sure.
And I have been able to get some assistance through Sam Crosby through the city, and I can get any addresses, and we could do like mass mailings, real
Got it.
easy.
All right. Okay, thank you. Any questions for Kim? All right, thank you, Kim. So we're on to item 10, adjournment.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
And a second to adjourn. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you all.